guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Akanksha Arora. Guys, my channel's name is Akanksha Arora. So please subscribe to it, hit the bell icon to get updates on my channel, and like my videos if you like them, and share them with your friends. And so we have come with a new video, Directive Principles of State Policy. The short form is DPSP, and it is mentioned in the part 4 of the Indian Constitution. And we are talking about directive principles in an Indian constitution perspective. So they are mentioned from Article 37 to Article 51. So this DPSP, this is a borrowed feature of our constitution. As I discussed, there are many features that are borrowed from other countries' constitution in our constitution in the video Salient Features of Indian Constitution Part 1. So this feature was borrowed from the Irish constitution. So there is a fact that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described it as novel feature of the Indian Constitution. Now what is DPSP? We have to know it about. So DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy, these are ideals. Now these are ideals that state should follow, that state should keep in mind while formulating its policies or enacting its laws. And these are like constitutional instructions or recommendations to the states in legislative, executive and administrative matters. So they resemble instrument of instructions which were mentioned in Government of India Act 1935, which we know that was a very legendary act, and many features are taken into our constitution from the Government of India Act 1935. Now the DPSPs, they constitute a very comprehensive economic, social and political program. So that means these are their agendas. For a modern democratic state, this is their agenda कि economic, social और political चीज़ों पे DPSPs का focus रहेगा. And they embody a concept of a welfare state. नॉट अ पुलिस स्टेट. लाइक पुलिस स्टेट का एक फंक्शन होता है कि उसका सिर्फ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन करना ही उसकी ड्यूटी है. वाइल जो वेलफेयर स्टेट है उसका कॉन्सेप्ट ये है कि वो अपने सिटीजन्स की केयर करता है फ्रॉम क्रैडल टू ग्रेव. सो दैट मीन्स डीपीएसपी इस चीज को एम्बॉडी करते हैं कि वो वेलफेयर स्टेट की तरीके से काम करेंगे. एंड दे सीक टू एस्टैब्लिश इकोनॉमिक and political democracy in the country. So they want to focus on such programs जो economic, social और political democracy को encourage करे. So the DPSPs, they are non-justiciable and non-enforceable, which means that we don't have any act like we have for fundamental rights. We can go into the courts if they are violated, like the Article 32 of the Indian Constitution, the constitutional remedies. But we don't have any such act for DPSPs, so they are non-justiciable and non-enforceable in the court of law. Whereas Article 37 of our Constitution, it states it is the duty of the state to apply these principles. मतलब स्टेट की ड्यूटी है कि वो इन प्रिंसिपल्स को अप्लाई करे, बट दो अगर ऐसा कोई प्रिंसिपल अप्लाई नहीं होता तो हम कोर्ट में नहीं जा सकते उसके लिए फाइट करने के लिए कि डीपीएसपी 1, 2, 3 इट हैज एम्प्लाइड और नॉट. एंड देयर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर अबाउट डीपीएसपी कि अगर कोर्ट को कोई लॉ लगता है, एनी लॉ, ऑर्डिनरी लॉ और एनीथिंग, इफ कोर्ट फाइंड्स इट एनी लॉ इन क्वेश्चन, या उसको लगता है कि वो अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है, बट वही लॉ किसी डीपीएसपी को इफेक्ट देता होगा, इट सीक्स टू गिव इफेक्ट टू अ डीपीएसपी, तो देन दैट लॉ कैन बी कंसिडर्ड. क्योंकि एंड बट द कंडीशन इज दैट कि वो रीजनेबल होना चाहिए. या तो वो इक्वालिटी प्रोवाइड करता हो आर्टिकल 14 के अंडर, या वो आर्टिकल 19 के 6 फ्रीडम्स में से किसी भी एक को प्रोवाइड करता हो. तो इस बेसिस पे कोई भी लॉ अगर कोर्ट को लगता है कि वो क्वेश्चनेबल है या अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बोले जाने वाला है, लेकिन वो डीपीएसपी को इफेक्ट देता है, तो उसको कंसिडर किया जा सकता है इन रीजनेबल कंडीशंस के अंडर. So now these DPSPs are classified. So we'll study about the classification of directive principles of state policy. सो 3 मेन हेडिंग्स में DPSP को क्लासिफाई करते हैं, सोशलिस्ट एंड गांधीयन एंड लिबरल. सो सोशलिस्ट आर्टिकल्स के अंडर हमारे आते हैं आर्टिकल 38, 39, 39A, 41, 42, 43, 43A and 47. So these all articles, they are based on the ideology of socialism. Other thing is Gandhian articles. These are article 40, 43, 43B, article 46, article 47, article 48. These all are based on the Gandhian ideologies. And the third one is the liberal articles. These are article 44, 45, 48, 48A, 49, 50 and 51. These all are based on the ideology of liberalism. So now there is a question that why DPSPs are non-enforceable. Like I told you just now that DPSPs are non-enforceable and non-justiciable in the court of law. Like why did the constitution makers do this? Like fundamental rights, they are justiciable. So why not DPSPs? So there is a reason that first of all, when our country got independent, it did not possess sufficient financial resources that they could implement all these DPSPs. Secondly, that there was presence of vast diversity, and it is still now in India, and backwardness was there at that time. It still is there in some parts of the country, and it would stand in the way of implementation because some people would not understand certain principles, and we would have a great divide between the people. That's why these were not implemented, and the constitution makers, they therefore took a practical view that they believe in a more awakened public opinion rather than in court procedures as the ultimate sanction for fulfillment of these principles. That's why they made the fundamental and the basic rights as the justiciable ones and the enforceable ones, while DPSPs were left onto the public, the state governments, that they have to implement them or to not implement them. So now we are talking about the criticism of the DPSPs. Like first, they are criticized because of their non-justiciable and non-enforceable character. That's why people say that they are invalid, they have no validity, and they are non-enforceable in the court of law. If they get violated, we cannot go in the court of law. That's why they criticize the DPSPs. Second, they say that they are illogical arrangement. It makes a chaos to people, and that's why they are not able to understand, and that's why they are criticized. Thirdly, DPSPs, they lead to a constitutional conflict between, first they lead to a constitutional conflict between the state and center. It's because the center can tell the state to apply or implement some DPSP in the state. Whereas if the state does not do that, the center can dismiss the state government. That's why it leads to conflict. It also creates a conflict between the PM and the president, because suppose if a bill comes and the bill, it violates the DPSPs. So the president may reject that bill on the basis that it is violating the DPSPs and they are fundamental to the constitutional character. That's why it leads to a conflict. And the same can happen between the governor and the CM. Now we will be talking about the utility of these DPSPs. First of all, they are fundamental to the governance of the country. Secondly, these directives are life-giving provisions. It is called life-giving provisions of constitution and its philosophy of social justice. So these DPSPs, they provide social justice. That's why they are very, very important. And the directive principles, they are intended as moral concepts of authorities of state. They are considered morally and ethically right. So that's why states have to implement them, and center also pushes the states to implement DPSPs. So now we are talking about the implementation of the DPSPs, that the reality of DPSPs which has been implemented. First of all, we have reservation of seats for SC, STs and OBCs. Secondly, Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, it is also an implementation. Panchayati Raj is a 3-tier government we have. And the land reforms, Wildlife Protection Acts, various labor laws, Minimum Wages Acts, Child Labor Prohibition Acts, nationalization of life insurance, we know LIC is there with us, and we have Lok Adalats which have been in several parts of the country, and we have community development programs. So these all are various implementation of DPSPs, and we have a lot more coming. So now there is only one topic which is a very major and wide topic, that is the conflict between the fundamental rights and the DPSPs. I'll make another video on that, which will be the next video, and because it's a very big concept and it has various case laws which needs to be discussed, so please keep on tuning to my channel and stay updated, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much all for listening to me and already watching me. If you have not seen any of my video, go search my channel Akanksha Arora. There is already 4 videos on my channel related to Constitution. Go watch them, like them, share with your friends. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. So here I am signing off today. Thank you very much.